Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another Firefly, the board game 10th anniversary unboxing. So like all the other videos, we're going through one expansion at a time. In today's video, we are going through the Pirate and Bounties expansion. This is actually be pretty fun. Add some new contact cards for each deck, some new supply cards, some new leaders, but it also adds 2 new ships and a bunch of new modes, the Bounty Hunter cards. So we're going to kind of look over some of the rules before we get to the cards in the ship. So a big thing with the Pirates and Bounty Hunters is the player versus player gameplay. Heavy dose of aggression, player interaction in the verse with boarding rival ships, stealing their stuff, bushwhacking their crew. Sounds fun. So all the cards are marked with the skull and crossbone. Not everyone enjoys conflict, so feel free to add or remove any of the PvP elements to your game according to your group's taste. So yeah, we're gonna add a bunch of this extra stuff. So if like you don't want to play with this stuff, or you have to worry about attacking each other, or definitely maybe not the first time you play. So at the 10th anniversary, you're getting everything. But if you just pick up this set by itself, hey, I have the base game. I like to add this. Cool. But you don't have to do it. You can add what you want. You can use just the new ships, or you could use just some of the new contact cards, or some of the jobs. It's kind of, you can mix and match what you like. So we have new bounty cards we're getting. We have 2 new ships. The SS Walden, which is from the episode Out of Gas, where they run out of gas, Mel sends everyone off, and then they end up getting picked up, and the guys trying basically, the ship company basically tries to rob them for the one part they need. That's the ship that does it. So that's a really cool thing there. And then we have the Interceptor, which is Jubal Early's, which of course the bounty hunter that comes after River. So we get that, and there's 2 brand new ships that are going to play very different than any of the Fireflies, but they are considered to be Fireflies as regards to all the different rules in the game. To incorporate Bowers and Pirate into your game, shuffle new piracy and supply cards into their relevant job and supply decks. Bounty cards from a new separate deck. The last 2 ship cards may be used by any leader. New story cards rely on the player versus player elements. So we're going to go ahead and look at what some of these are for the new rules. That way when we see them on the cards, we know what they're talking about. So you have boarding rival ships. So some might have a boarding test. So any kind of player who access a rival ship consists of hostile acting must first pass a boarding test. May choose to either attack or negotiate still. If the test is successful, they go ahead. The test is failed, the attempt is over, and the work action is complete. Then I have Showdown. Showdowns are confrontation between 2 crews and resolve a special type of skill. In Showdowns, currently the active player is the attacker and the target player is the defender. The attacker must choose which skill they will use in the showdown. The defender then chooses which skills they'll use to defend with. The skill shows in the showdown are up to the players and do not need to be of the same type. Both players roll a die and add their chosen skill. The higher the total showdown, the defender wins the tie. So throwing heroic bonuses do not apply. So for example here, Pete is working a piracy job, targets Liz. He passes the boarding test and it's now time for a showdown. Pete chooses fighting skill, Liz chooses attack. Pete then rolls a 5, adds a 6 points to fight for his crew for a total of 11. Liz rolls a 3 plus or 5 of tech for a total of 8. Just kind of does whatever your crew is going to have doing that particular job or on your ship. Gear and showdown. Resolve the show. Both players may allocate their gear to any crew they wish before the showdown. Both crews scurry about grabbing their equipment in preparation for the coming fight. Normal rules apply how much gear can equip. So I smell a lot of if coming off this plan. Then we have piracy jobs. Piracy new job type introduced in this set. Player versus player are directed to attack other players, goods, and crew. To work a piracy job, you must be in the same sector as your intended target. Note, you must be working a piracy job to attack on a ship. You can't just attack all willy-nilly. Working a piracy job. When using a work action, attempt a piracy job, place the active job area. All piracy jobs require the first pass a boarding test, gain access. If the test pass, proceed to the showdown portion. The boarding test is failed. The piracy job remains in your active job area, but your attempt is over. You are flying the pirate colors, and your first intentions are obvious to all. Remember, you only have 3 active jobs. If you already have 3, you can't attempt a piracy job. Subject morality. Piracy jobs are classified as morally subjective. It means the morality job is situationally determined on whether the leader is moral. If it is immoral to work a subjective job, it is immoral to work a subjective job on a target ship with a moral leader. So, example, like Liz is playing Mal, who's moral, and John is playing Womack, who's not. So Peter knows if he goes after Womack, his moral crew will be fine with it. Choosing to go after Mal to Strunkle his crew members because they're considered moral to target Mal. So it's kind of interesting. So if you're targeting one guy versus another guy, so basically the good guys can attack the bad guys without an issue, but vice versa is not the other direction. Just kind of just gotta pay attention to that. Piracy Showing resolves reward when you complete it. So different things, win or lose. What happens? I'm not going to try and get into all these, but yeah, some other differences mean steal good. The amount of goods you steal is limited by both the job and how much space you have on your ship. You may steal more goods than you have empty space after the showdown, but before stealing goods, you may choose to jettison goods for your ship to make rules. You may also kick off passengers, fugitive, and sector planets, but you cannot kick people off in empty space. Note, you may not steal some goods. You may not steal some goods, jettison stolen goods, then steal more goods. So basically, you can't go to steal somebody else's stuff and try and eliminate all their stuff without having room for you to take it. If you have 4 spots open, you can take 4 of their goods. If you have 4 spots open, you get rid of 4 of yours. Now you can take 8 of their stuff. But you can't opt to just keep taking their stuff and throwing their stuff out the door to grab more of their stuff. So you can't completely eliminate someone's cargo just for the sake of doing it. The stash. Any goods stored in the stash are off limits. There's definitely a good idea for the stash. So pirates are hit and run affair, and attackers have time to search the ship from bow to stern for every hidey hole and smuggling nook. Fire-class ships are famous for being really such concealed compartments. When targeted by a piracy job, players may rearrange their goods between passengers, fugitives, and their cargo and their stash. Choose careful what goods to keep in your stash. That contraband might be worth a lot. Without fuel, it'll be hard to move it. Once the showdown is rolled, too late to rearrange. So that's kind of cool, right? So when they decide to target you, you can opt to move stuff around, but it's saying don't just hide all your contraband or your goods or your cargo or your passengers in the stash and leave all your fuel out, because then they'll just take all your fuel and then now you're stuck without fuel. So that wouldn't be as good either. Some jobs allow you to steal jobs on a good. After stealing jobs, you may have more than 3 in your hand. Or finish your current work, you must discard down to 3 inactive jobs in your hand. Cool. Then we have bounty hunting. Bounties are a special job requiring you to apprehend a fugitive and deliver them to a drop-off destination. Bounties differ from normal jobs in a few important ways. During setup, place the bounty hunter, build the top 3 bounty cards. The face up are the most wanted list. When a fugitive is apprehended and their bounty is claimed, reveal a new bounty card. There shall always be 3 face up. There's a bounty card for every wanted crew in the game. When you're hunting pirates and bounties, you need to watch out for both the Alliance cruiser and rival players. It's just kind of cool. So it makes everyone a little bit more of a target. Every time the Alliance cruiser nav is drawn, update the most one, return the 3 bounties to the bottom of the deck and reveal 3. If you reveal a bounty for a character that's been removed from the game, or a character is killed while their bounty is on the list, remove them and replace it with a new one. Each bounty card lists details for the hunt, where the wanted figure is last seen, where you deliver them, and how much you'll get paid. The showdown listed details of risks or failed attempts. Some bounties are immoral. Moral crew become disgruntled when you collect reward for a moral bounty. So bounties require you to apprehend a fugitive and deliver them to get paid. You must decide what you're going to use before working a bounty. Once you begin working a bounty, it's too late to swap gears. So it's kind of like working a job. Anyone can work a bounty. All players may attempt to work any of the 3 face-up bounties on the list. Never count as job and do not count as a limit. To attempt to apprehend a fugitive, you must use a worked action while in the same sector as a target fugitive. You only attempt to apprehend a single fugitive. Remember, the current active player is the attacker when applying results to the bounties. Apprehending a fugitive occurs one of 3 ways. Confrontation. The fugitive is a rival's crew. To apprehend a fugitive in a rival crew, you must first pass a boarding test, get access to the ship, resolve the showdown against the entire rival's crew. Following the normal rules, the showdown results are detailed on the fugitive's card. Lone target is on a supply pack. To apprehend fugitive in a discard pile, resolve a showdown between your crew and the lone fugitive. The player to your right rolls for the defending fugitive, uses their best available skill. Throwing heroes do not apply. The showdown are detailed on the bounty card. And betrayal, fugitive in your crew. When target a fugitive is a member of your crew, you may choose to betray them. The target is apprehended without needing to roll a showdown. However, this act of wanting betrayal will not still with all the rest of your crew. All members become disgruntled except your leader. If you wish to collect a bounty on one of your crew without disgruntling everyone else, kick them off your ship, send them home, and nab them there. So that's kind of neat. You get 3 different ways. Stealing from someone else is obviously the hardest because you have to fight their entire crew potentially. From a planet, it's a little bit easier as you only have to roll against one person. Kicking them off, betraying them on your ship is probably the easiest, but it's going to disgruntle everybody, so that could be depending on when you do it, could be interesting. Bound by law. So you're successfully apprehended if you claim both the crew card and the bounty card, place it to the left of your ship. Marked as bound by law, apprehended. Do not count towards active job limits. Do not count as part of your crew in any way. Do not participate in jobs, showdown, skill tests. So you can't, no one can deal with them. Bounty jumping. Ship transporting bounties are attempting target and vulnerable attack. Bounty jumping is attempting to steal a bound fugitive from another player. Must use a work action. Do the same thing. Do your showdown, check all them. Bounty jumping is just as risky as apprehending a fugitive. Showdown results still apply on their card. Through repeated bounty jumping, a bounty fugitive may change hands more than once. May provide jumping a single bounty per work action. Rescue. After a successful bounty jump, you may declare the action a rescue. Free the bounty fugitive instead of taking possession of them. If you have space in your crew or make space, you may add them. Grateful rescue your crew without paying the hiring cost. Turn the bounty card to the bottom of the deck. If rescue fugitive doesn't join your crew, return them to supply deck. Just because you rescue someone doesn't mean they're completely off the hook. The more criminals snagged by bounty hunters, the more likely the alert for your rescue fugitive will resurface. That's kind of cool. So you also just steal them as well. All bounties have a drop-off list and get paid. Once you arrive there, you must use a work action to deliver them, and then just remove them from the game. Ships ready to follow the Reavers while transporting bound fugitives run the risk of their quarry being eaten. Bound fugitives make it especially easy meal. If a Reaver kills your passengers and fugitive tokens, any bound fugitives transported are removed from play. Cool. So that's pretty neat. So we have a full new mechanic there about, we have piracy jobs, which we haven't looked at yet. We have bounties though. Piracy jobs, you can go ahead and steal stuff from other players and do stuff like that. So that's kind of fun if you want to add that. If you don't want that much interaction, have to worry about your crew and stuff, you can just do the bounty hunters. You can combine them. That's kind of cool. Just play the bounty hunter fact if you want to do that. If someone has it, then you can target them, but otherwise you don't have to do it. There's some new Cortex alerts for the ships. Just mentioning like doing stuff with the bounty hunters. I'm not getting into too much of those. The last few things I'd like to get into the cards are destinations and havens. For story cards with a series of goals occurring in different planets, using destination tokens. So they'll be able to, I'll show some of them. And we also have havens. Our special planets have special important to player corresponding haven tokens. Matching the ship color, they're set up during the thing. So during setup, After choosing layers, players place their Haven tokens instead of placing their ships. Haven tokens must be placed in sectors containing planets, not be placed on supply or contact planets. It may not have this sector already has another Haven. Yeah, so Havens are kind of nice. It doesn't list it in here for some reason, but it does mention it in. I'm going to flip over to. Oh, nope, that was nope, that was a special story mission. There was a story that had a special thing with Havens. Alright, never mind then. Then we have a new profession here. We have lawmen. Which is cool, because we haven't really had too many new ones in there. So lawmen work for free, obey the law, they never work an illegal job. And enforced by lawmen have a bounty bonus, which is paid when a bounty fugitive is dropped off. You have one or more lawmen. Their bonuses are cumulative. Cool. So that's all we have there. Here is a Haven token. For example, this is a red one. On the back side, we have the number 2. So this would be them destinations. So you're going to use one or the other. So that's only one time you can't combine stuff. Awesome. Let's look at our ships quick. Before we get into the cards. So we have the SS Walden here. So this can only have 3 active jobs with everything else. They have 6 crew members. Which is one less, one, no, it's the same as regular things, I believe. But this doesn't have, just has cargo hold, doesn't have any stashes. It's like a regular Firefly. Just trying to see one of the Firefly ships there. Yeah, so same number of crew, but they have, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They have more cargo space. So they have an extra 3 spots versus a regular Firefly ship, but they don't have a stash. So that's kind of a little bit different there. They also have a special rule. Salvage scout. Completed piracy jobs also count as salvage ops. So if you're doing piracy jobs, these guys get an extra bonus. This is kind of neat though, because if you pick up this, like we did have the Coachworks expansion, you can check out that video. She added 2 other higher class Firefly models. This will actually give you something a little bit different. So if you want, some people can play the better Firefly model, some people can play this, and give it actually a little bit more difference in your ships than just your base things. This does come with its own starting card. It has a special core drive. These, however, cannot be switched out with any of the other ones. So, like, all the Fireflies can go to other planets and actually pick up other core drives and swap out for some different options. The SS Walden and the Interceptor are stuck with their beginning ones. Because they're built differently. So this is the Tri-Capacitating 20H HD unique core may not replace one of these for SS Walden. Spend 1 field to initiate full burn, immune to heavy load penalty. So it doesn't move as fast, but it doesn't have that penalty, so you can load it up all the way. It can do some of the heavier some of the heavier cargo loads. So that's kind of cool. And then we got our little ship here. Which again, these are all painted up for the 10th anniversary set, but if you had purchased this set separately, it might just be a one giant neon color. Then we have our other one is we have Jewel Herbley's Interceptor. So we'll look at that ship right away as he gets this little tiny ship. So, like, I want to just compare that to one of the original Fireflies. So, yeah, not nearly the size. And then if we also compare that to the SS Walden, kind of just did some good size differentials in there. So this only has 2 slots in there. Only can hold 4 crew, though. So that's less, and there's a lot less cargo hold space. It only has 4 versus everything else having quite a bit more. But it has the Thunderbird class Surveyor. Has Interloper, may reroll, mechanic boarding test. So this is, again, the Holden is going to be better for doing piracy jobs. This is going to be good for boarding tests. So it works really well with these expansions. If you're not using them, it could be their extra abilities kind of don't really help you if you're not using the stuff from this expansion. Optimal specs. Each currently installed ship upgrade reduces the interceptor's core range by 1. So interesting. So here's his discard. So it started with a range of 8. So this can actually move farther than anything else without any moves. It's the Echelon LR8. So no fuel is required to initiate burn. So this thing can just constantly move 8 spaces and travel a lot quicker. But again, it doesn't have a big hold. Doesn't have any stash. It's just going to make it a lot harder to do stuff. Doesn't have as big of a crew. So some of the jobs are going to be a little bit tougher. But the fact is you can go as far. But although once you upgrade your slots there, each ship upgrade will drop it by 2. So if you had 2 in there, it'll drop it down to 6, which makes it about equivalent to everything else. That's definitely cool. Just a different way to play the game. Alright, then we are going to look at our stories. So we don't get any new setup cards, but we do get some new stories in here. Another Man's Treasure. Choose havens must be in border space. Interesting, so they can't be in the alliance area. So in the yellow. After taking started jobs, pull all remaining piracy jobs from the contact decks and place them in their discard piles, and then reshuffle the contact decks. Special story rules. Ships at their havens may not be boarded by rivals, so like your protection areas. Use a work action on your haven to drop off sets of 4 contraband, 4 cargo, or 8 parts. For every complete set you deliver, take 1 gold token. You may deliver multiple sets with a single work action. You may only deliver complete sets. Winning the game when the first player gets 4 gold tokens. Interesting. So yeah, it's you're gonna probably try and steal everyone's stuff. You're gonna start with possibly get some of the piracy jobs right off the bat, but then you're all going in the discard pile. So that way everyone has access to them right away. Because, like, again, when you go to pick up a job, you have the option of looking right at the discard pile. So they're all going to be available for anyone to get. So the idea is to, like, force people to have an option of looking through the discard pile and getting piracy jobs right off the bat rather than to hope to draw them from the deck. And you're just trying to grab certain number of ones, and then hopefully people don't steal them from you. So this is a lot more, it's PvP focus. Again, you don't have to PvP any of this. You could opt to never do any of this stuff. You could just skip the whole piracy part and just, hey, the only way to win is by dropping off contraband, cargo, and parts at your haven, and you're focusing more on that. And that could be an option as well. Cool. We have another PvP focused one. The choices we make. Set up after taking started on put all remaining piracy jobs from the contact decks placed in their discard pile. Same thing. Successfully completing any piracy job, the attacker may also steal 1 gold token from the rival target. Earn gold tokens every time you complete a piracy job, a crime job, deliver a bounty, or complete a smuggling job. First player 5 gold tokens at the start of the game wins. So that's kind of cool. If you're going to play PvP anyhow, this actually forces you to try and attack other players and do stuff. 1, for the piracy jobs. Also because then you can steal tokens from another player, so you don't have to try and complete 5 other things. Although, again, you could just not do the piracy part and just do the other 4. Very possible as well, if you don't really want to do that PvP stuff. Then the last one is Jailbreak. During later selection, players choose any card from the bounty deck. Pair each chosen bounty with its associated wanted crew card and place the 2 cards next to the versus most wanted list. They are prisoners of the Alliance. Must be solid with Harking. At the Alliance cruiser, make a negotiating boarding test if successful. Do this stuff, gain a goal. Badger will make it better. Must be solid. Badger, do this, and then head for the hills. First player arrive at 3 hills with 2 gold tokens wins the game. Interesting. So competing to play the bounty cards to force them in the game. That's really cool. Awesome. So let's go ahead and look at the actual cards that came and the rest of the cards. Alright, so we're going to get 2 brand new leaders. We're going to start with Sash, who is the head leader or the captain of the SS Walden. So he's a pirate, of course. When you complete a piracy job, steal 500 from the targeted rival, and he has a hacking rig to begin with. So that's cool. We get him to start with. Or we can get Jewel Herbley, who's a pilot and a bounty hunter. He has 2 fighting when attacking in a showdown and may carry 2 deer. And has all 3 ghosts, so he's pretty well rounded. So that's fun. We get more different pilots to do stuff. But again, they're going to be PvP based. If you're not playing with those rules, they might not really be worth your time. Then we are going to get new cards for each of our different supplies. So we're going to start with Silver Hold here. And we're going to look at what we're going to get there. We're going to get some new crew members. We have Megos, who's a mutter. I can focus a little bit better. Hero Worship. Anytime a crew is killed, apprehended, or seized by an alliance, you may kill Megos instead. We can get a Fed Marshal, who's a lawman. Fighting in Showdown. Plus a fighting during Showdown. Bounty bonus 300 will not work illegal jobs. But they don't cost anything, at least. So then we're going to get some bandits. We have some new mercs. We have that one, and we have this one. So we have 2 different ones. We have Bird Dodging. We complete a piracy job, steal 200 from target rival. And we have Shari, who's a grifter. Turncoat. In Showdown, you may force rival to re-roll. And then we have the Friendly Game of Cards. Friendly. Gambling. Discard, use, pay the bank 300. Name a suit. Flip over 3 misbehave cards. Take 500 and remove 1 disgruntled token for each card that matches the named suit. Cool. Yeah, so what's neat about these cards is it's like this one could be used in any game. You could add it in there. But like if you don't like the PvP stuff with the Showdown, you could opt to take some of these other guys out. Like piracy jobs, stuff like that. Again, he has stuff for bounties. You might not opt to use them. You might want to include him in there anyhow, just because he's a 1 gun for 0. So you can kind of play around. I would say, like, play the game, you find out you're not using it, or if you're not complaining of the PvP, you can probably just skip some of these. But even if you aren't going to, you might include them in there. You find out you're not using them, they keep getting passed up. That's where I start opting to take cards out. Awesome. Next up, we're going to go to Persephone. And we are going to have Dobson, another lawman. He's a mole. In Alliance space, you may move the Alliance cruiser to your sector as a fly action. Bonus bounty 500 will not work illegal actions. So I would go and move the Alliance cruiser to you. If you're doing a bounty, helps you get right next to it so you can maybe drop stuff off if you need to drop something off there. So you have some various interesting things. For some items, we're going to have Stand-Proof Shades, which are fancy goods. Crew carrying Stand-Proof Shades may ignore all Alliance wanted crew rolls. We have Dobson's Vector Pistol. The firearm may be used in kosherized fights, does not count towards the gear limit. And then we're going to have some upgrades. We have 2 copies of Ship Upgrade Booby Traps. -2 to rivals mechanic boarding tests. If rival rolls 1 while boarding you, one of their crew is killed. Discard to count as explosives. Cool. So this is kind of neat because you could use it for that or also just have extra explosives in the game. Surprisingly, this took so long to get. Or not if I wasn't including the base set. It's Cryostasis Unit. Rivals may not jump your bounties. And 1 crew aboard your ship may ignore wanted crew rolls. Again, I like these are double, so you can use the wanted crew for anything, but then the rival also helps you to use the bounties in there. So that's neat. Up next, we have new stuff for the Space Bazaar. So we're going to get a brand new crew member. We're going to get Galling. Who's an intel broker. Once per work action, you may discard 200 to discard and redraw a misbehave card. That could be very helpful. We have Early's Pistol. Firearm double extra fighting during a showdown. We get Early's Combat Armor. which has mechanic and fighting. If a crew carrying armor is killed, roll 1 to 3 is not killed, 4 to 6 are not killed. And Early's Data Scope. Hacking Rig. As a work action, you reveal the top 3 cards of your current location supply deck, place them all in the discard pile. Interesting, because then you can search through the entire discard pile. And then we have 2 copies of the Ava suit. +1 tech for boarding, +1 cargo from salvage op, 1 crew may ignore wanted rolls. So this is kind of neat with all this stuff with the wanted rolls. I like this as an idea. Because we had Blue Sun expansion had a lot of stuff like dealing with disgruntledness. This has a lot of stuff dealing with wanted roles. So I kind of wonder if these were sort of like, oh, we played the base game. Yeah, these are kind of becoming a pain. So we had to make some specific cards to help deal with these type of things. Kind of an interesting thought. Next, we're going to go to Regina. Which we're going to have Sheriff Bourne, who's another lawman. Jurisdiction. Double fighting for all tests while in border space. Bounty +500 will not work illegal. We have a deputy, who's a posse, plus attacking showdowns. And then we have 2 more bandits who are bird dodging. So we get some more of those for piracy jobs. For our item, we have Sasha's hand cannon, which has negotiation and fighting. Before rolling showdown, disgruntled rivals leader. Ooh, that could be really good because if you hit them the second time, that they could automatically have to discard their entire crew, which could really make a showdown a lot harder to win whilst you don't have any crew. And then we have a new upgrade. We have Mag Grappler Launchers, +3 tech for boarding. After all salvage rolls, roll a tech rate 1 to 7, nothing shiny. And 8, 1 ship may upgrade from any discard pile. I really love these. I love these cards and the fact, again, they're useful for the piracy stuff, but then, or the bounty stuff, but then you can also use them just as normal. So that makes them double good. They didn't just force it to have to play PvP. Finally, we have our Cyrus Shipworks, which we're going to start with Agent McGinnis. He's a Fed. When you lose a showdown, warrant issued to a rival. We have the Guardian, Mech Soldier, Security Pro may roll during showdown tests. For some items, we have 2 copies of the Alliance Sonic Rifle. Rivals using attacking showdowns must follow kosherized rules. Interesting. So you're pulling a gun on them, making them not use their guns. And then we have 2 copies of the Electronic Defense Suite. Rivals boarding your ship may not use mechanic skill tests for boarding. Spend 1 fuel to evade Reaver Cutter. Ignore the effects of either Reaver Cutter, Nav Card, or Contact Event. That's cool. Helps you avoid some of them. Awesome. Those are our brand new upgrade cards. Then we're going to get to some new contact cards. So these are all piracy. So they're going to look different on the back. The front sides are all going to look the same, so you get shuffled in. We're not going to know. We're going to start with Patience, but yeah, they're all going to have a different style back. Little crossbones, a little bit more black and red, so we can easily tell that they're piracy cards. So yeah, target rival with no active Patience job. So hard rustling. Subjective, there's your personal and good. That would just show down what you have to do. So you have to do the boarding test over here, and then you have to do the showdown to try and win. So we have another hard rustling, and they might all 5 be the exact same thing for each person. So hers are all hard rustling with the exact same thing. So just be the same ones. That's not bad. I don't have an issue with them all being the exact same one. It just makes it easier to be like, if I grab one from Patience, I just have to attack anybody else, right? If I grab one from Badger, it's attacking anybody else. So it's kind of helpful. So here's Badgers. Pilfer, Purloin, and Plunder. So any rival. Still up to 6 goods. So now are the boarding tests, I think, are the same for everything. 6 and 6. So it's always going to be the same. Showdowns always gonna be different to like steal up to 5 of the defender's goods. This one steal up to 6 of them, but you can target more people. So I think he has 5 of the exact same cards. And then if we have Almond Go, Contract Jumper. So you just deal 3 of the defender's inactive jobs. Attacker must discard the job handle limit to normal. Just lets you take jobs instead. So it's kind of neat. So some are goods, some are for jobs. So it kind of depends on what you want to do for each one. We have Niska, who has a message from Niska. Steal up to all defender's goods. Stash goods may not be stolen, so anyone that's not solid with Niska, so even if you're working for Niska, he doesn't care as long as you're not solid with them. So you have all 5 of those. And then we have Harking, which I was actually surprised Harking has piracy jobs. Rival outlaw ship. So you're picking up some. These are all legal, though, because you're attacking another outlaw, so they don't really care. Up to 4 defenders' goods. An alliance commission. So the alliance is essentially paying you to go take out another rival. Yeah, so not necessarily very different. I mean, I can see why. Like, I don't know what you would do to have them all be very different, because it's kind of nice. You just like, if I'm going to this person, I'm doing this. Going to this person, I'm doing that. Makes perfect sense. Versus the other, like all the other things, like, oh, deliver this or do this, do this. Because if you add too much additional extra stuff on there, it's just going to make them a lot harder to get into the use. Because you already have to do an extra boarding test and extra showdown. Then if you had a bunch of extra special rules, it would make them a lot harder to use. So the only thing that's really extra about them or different is who you can target, and then kind of what you win. Most of them are goods. 3 goods or 4 goods, except for the one is jobs. Or all goods, so makes it pretty easy to figure out. Alright, then the last thing we have in here are the bounties. Wanted alive by the law. So we're going to get bounties for a bunch of different characters. Now, this came out way before, I think before all the other expansions. So it's going to have stuff, I believe it's only going to have cards for the core game and maybe some stuff from this expansion. I don't know if it'll have characters that are in, it might have stuff from Breaking Atmo as well, because that may have came out first. But I don't think it's going to have anything from Blue Sun or Caldesia. But hopefully, I think, I'm not 100% positive, I don't remember off the top of my head, but I want to say I think the one of the 10th anniversary adds a couple extra ones, so I think they kind of pick up some of the new characters that came out later. Alright, so I have scrappers here. If I ride a ship, a boarding test is required, and once you drop it off is the White Sun. So this doesn't tell you where, because scrappers could be anywhere. We could get some named characters like Billy, Lasting, and Persephone, so that's where he would be, what deck he would be in. We have the Bandits. I'm gonna go to Triumph. We have Zoe. I like that they have different things for their crimes and stuff are also kind of neat. So now, I believe, though, you can only steal crew. I don't believe you can steal leaders. So if someone's playing as, it doesn't specify in there, but I would imagine if someone is playing as Zoe is a leader, you can't steal her because she's a leader. I was trying to see if they had, I don't think they have one for, yeah, they don't have one for any of the leaders. So at the time of the game, because it might not have included her leader card from some of the promos and stuff like that. So we have Two Fry. I'm just going to kind of flip through these a little bit quicker. We have Tracy, of course. Shoplifting, petty theft, forgery, organ smuggling, and violation of postal code. Stitch. specialist. Okay, because see out here it's going to list breaking atmo to show there's in breaking atmo. So if you don't have that expansion, like you're buying these all separate, you can just go ahead and take this one out. So it's helpful if they showed that. Simon Cam, of course. River Cam. Jesse. Jane, aka Hero of Canton, inciting a riot. The Interrogator. Helen. The Gang Brothers. The Fixer, also from Breaking Atmo. Darwin, from this set. Crow. Bree. And the Enforcers. So that's pretty cool. We got 20 of those. Yeah, so this is a pretty needed set. Like, yeah, if you want, you've already played a game, you got added the expansions, you want something a little bit different. In fact, you can do the fighting against each other and messing with each other's stuff to make some of the missions a little bit more tricky. Also makes not having to worry about avoiding people, or trying to avoid people a little bit better. So if you're not doing anything other than possibly stopping and trading goods, there's really no reason to ever worry about where the other players on the board are for most purposes like that. This could then make it like, again, now you have to go around to avoid the Alliance or avoid the Reavers. I also might have to avoid other players because they might be coming after me, or if I pick up a bounty, they might be coming after me. Additionally, the Blue Sign expansion added a thing about letting you like trade credits with each other. For anywhere thing, you still have to be next to each other to trade goods and stuff, but you can always be like, hey, I'll pay you 500 if you don't attack me, let me go drop off this bounty. And they might be like, you know what, it's not worth my time to come after you, but you don't have to be next to them to negotiate. But yeah, it kind of adds some of that more negotiating tactics, different stuff there. Or maybe you could be like, hey, rather than risking a bounty or a boarding action and a showdown and possibly getting people killed, or whatever, you could be like, hey, I will give you, this core drive that I have that I can pick up here if you want to, like, give me your crew. We'll meet up somewhere, we'll trade that crew over, I will take your crew guy as a bounty and we don't have to fight. So it could be some more interaction with that stuff. Could be kind of cool. Again, if you don't want to use a pirate, you don't want to use these cards, the bounty cards, just a little bit too much where you have to hunt down specific people or draws away from the story too much, don't use them. You don't want to use the bounty cards, you can definitely take them out. Most of these supply cards work every direction. The extra ships are kind of fun. Again, they're going to work very different than the Fireflies, but they're going to, might make the game a little bit more interesting when everyone's not playing the exact same ship. Also, you have to make you look at how you do missions differently. If you don't have cargo or stashes, you might want to watch out for some of the, like the Walden, it's slower and it doesn't have stashes, so getting boarded a lot more often, you won't be able to hide stuff. Definitely a thing to worry about. Where same thing with Herbal or the Interceptor, it's going to move a lot faster, but you can't carry as much stuff, so getting boarded once could wipe out your entire thing. Versus somebody else, it might only wipe out a couple other things. So, very cool. Love the idea of it. So yeah, if you're looking for a new one, the Pirates, what was this called again? Pirate and Bounty Hunters expansion. So yeah, if you want to pick that up, or if you're at 10th edition, you're going to have it in there already. Hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Check out the rest of them. Hit me up in the comments. See you guys later. Bye.